I want to thank TV1 because it has come out of all the broadcasting televisions or other people, but TV1 comes to make sure that they remind you that that is not what you're supposed to do. They show you the right things that you are supposed to do. I have again to remind you that if you can't watch us live on your television, which is TV1 Uganda, you can get us on our Africa Innovation link. You can download it either on your Apple Store or your Android, yeah, and you get to watch us live. And then too, you can still get us on our YouTube channel, that is TV1, and then you can also get us on our website, that is www.tv1.com, and you can get us, you make sure that you watch us, then not forgetting our lovely people, you can watch us on free to air, you can watch us on Go TV, Star Times, and all these other channels, but make sure you tune in to TV1 so that you see the difference, particularly in the environment sector. And not forgetting, like as always, we want to say hi to our lovely viewers, our people of Nansen and Kabumbi, we love you, our Kampala Central people, our Entebbe people, all our viewers, all the people that are making sure that you are on TV1, making sure you watch us, you get to see the difference in our environment sector. We love you so much. And right away we shall go deep to our updates, our weekly updates on what is happening in the world, internationally, in the environment sector. If we come right away, we shall tell you the people are getting the backfire of destroying the environment. The heat right now is making records in Europe, and in France currently, people are actually in warnings of the death tolls. What does that mean? Earth is crying, my people. Earth is weeping. And what are we supposed to do? Do we know the right things that we are supposed to do? When we check on right away, when we go to Paris, or which is Rome, today on Sunday, we had temperatures rising up where the forecast reached 40 degrees Celsius, that is 104 degrees Fahrenheit in parts of Europe today, as the storm moved into other areas, with France reporting 1,000 excess deaths during the record-breaking heat wave. If you see there, those are people fighting to make sure that they be near the water bodies because the heat is really too much. And scientists have also said that the heat wave, which began on June 20th, was the worst recorded in Europe, and the blistering conditions have disrupted the power generation. They also damaged infrastructure and overwhelmed health care systems. The heat wave would have been virtually impossible without the human cause. Without the human cause, my people, that goes back to Earth. To us, the Earth is weeping because we are destroying it, and it is now giving us the backfire. And when we look also at this week's soaring nighttime temperatures, which is 100 times more likely than they would have been just 2 decades ago. That is also according to the scientists, which means the more the people increase, the more they fight and destroy the environment, and the more the earth cries, and it hits back to us. It hits back to you who is destroying us. It shows you, okay, you're doing this to me, yet I've been so good to you. Let me also hit back to you. And when we go to the sweltering heat, that is in Germany, Poland, and Italy, we had temperatures where the forecast went near up to 40 degrees Celsius. 40 degrees Celsius, my people. In Germany, Poland, and in Italy, like I told you, well, storms broke in parts of very, very many places nearby. In Germany, train services were also reduced on a major rail line in the western state of the North Rhine-Westphalia, and the trams were also suspended in the eastern city of Leipzig. Many people hunkered down at home, reluctant to go outside until the sun went down. Also, we got that information from the local media telling us how the situation that side is, because the extreme heat has also affected the Europe's rivers. If you can see how the water are there, like on our screens, people are suffering, and now the heat goes down to the rivers, depleting and warming their waters and causing problems for electricity generation and agriculture. When you go to Hungary, Pak's nuclear power plant will likely need to reduce output again. That is today due to the high temperature of the Danube River that uses a coolant. That information was gotten directly from the government of Hungary. And when we go right away to Italy, the flow of the Po has dwindled, allowing seawater to advance as far as 18 kilometers. Those are 11 miles away. Inland and rising fears for agriculture and protected wetlands in the River of Delta. Dozens of people seeking relief from the heat are reported to have drowned, because the more the heat is too much, a lot of people want to be in the water bodies. The more they increase, some may not know how to swim, but they also want to get those coolants near them, and they get affected. The causes for the more damages that are happening to our people, that are happening to the humans, but all that happens because they don't know the right things that they are supposed to do. They might know them, but maybe they are not sustained enough. They don't have the information. They don't know what they are supposed to do, and in return they fight and damage the environment. And when the environment, or when the Mother Earth cries, you all get the whips of its tears. And now when we go again on the extreme heat is in France. France's weather agency also said that the extreme heat had diminished in the most parts of the country, but some areas also in the northeast were still under the heat wave advisory. When we also get the information from the health minister of Italy, he says that the newspaper that impacts the heat wave could linger for as long as 10 days. So that was gotten from the newspaper of the place. 10 days. That means those are around, almost, if you to count, those are around 2 weeks when people are suffering heat. People can't stay in their houses. When you saw from our photos on the screens, people were running on water bodies to make sure that they get the water nearby so that they can have heat. Coolants have been put in the cities to make sure that people can go there, and people are running there. People are making lines to make sure that they get some cooler, some water on their bodies. And if you can see on if you've seen some of the photos, people are even go there in their clothes, yeah, but they get on those coolers so water can splash on them and they can get cooled because the heat is too much. And we also see the storm that battered portions of France late on Saturday, that was yesterday, brought in some cooler air, but they led to power outages for thousands of households. Because now people are making sure, instead of pumping the water to go to, to put the electricity, but now they're fighting to get that they pump the water to reach people, because people are suffering. The heat is too much, and you people know how white can be. We blacks, yeah. Like how you can look at me, we blacks have melanin. I don't know how exactly I should bring out that, because they say black absorbs heat, but still, on the other hand, me as Chantal being a dark-skinned lady, that means I've got a lot of melanin, and that happens a lot for we Africans. I've not talked about the people who want to change their color, but we as Africans who have a lot of melanin, which is so protective on our bodies. So when we go on the other side of our Western people, and their skin is a little bit weak, lack of a better word that I can use, so they are affected a lot with the sun. So that is why people, or the governments of the countries, are making sure they pump the water, they put coolants or pipes, lack of a better word, that can help keep splashing water, so that people can people can go there and get that water. So in the due process, a lot of electricity is used this other side to pump the water, and now people are now suffering because they don't have electricity in their houses. We told thousands of homes and now the power blacked out, so they don't have power in their houses because a lot of power is used this other side. And as early as today, this morning, we had 63,000 households in northern and central France, which also had no power. Electricity provider also in that area gave us this information. I don't know if a producer can give us that photo that shows the too much heat that is happening in Europe. So it shows the London, it shows Paris, and it shows how you see land is really suffering and earth is weeping, and people are getting to face that. We are sorry we can't, we failed to get that photo from our producer, but I have to remind our people, what you give Mother Earth, if you give it the good, it will again give you the beautiful things. Yes, thank you so much, our producer. If you can see that map, it shows you how much heat is affecting Europe, how much, if you can look at the difference from the normal high over the 1961 to the 1990, and if you can also see the average of the high of today's European forecast, which is 75.4 degrees Fahrenheit. My people, I have again to remind you that earth will weep, and if it cries, you'll get the repercussions more far away, more better or harder than how you always fate to destroy the environment. And as we leave our international, we shall go again back to our country in Uganda, where we've had people complaining. A few people have been on our show and here on TV1 with that lovely program, which is Go Green. I have to remind you, it runs every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And a lot of people have been asking themselves, in our last show, we talked about the laws that are put to fight or to govern the environment, to govern sanitation, to govern waste management. And then we asked ourselves, if there was outside that the people are supposed to adhere to translate it for you, wetubanga tuina amateeka abantu nga bamanyi balina okugagoberera, lwaki tebagagoberera? But again, we go back, do the people know those laws? Abantu bo bamanyi amateeka? A lot of times people or our parliament puts out the laws or the people are supposed to follow, but they leave them in the box. They don't bring them to the people that are supposed to use them or to adhere to them. And if they don't do that, missions, I'll wake up today and do whatever I'm supposed to do. Sometimes I do it because I'm big headed. The other time I do it because I don't know that there is something that will reprimand me if I do a certain thing. So we've had complaints. If to compare two things of Kawuku and Lubiji, those are all slums, and there are others. But we've had fights of people coming out to say, why are people constructing in Kawuku? I'm sorry, my Kawuku people, this is just an example. And why are people being fought that don't construct in Lubiji? Recently, we had a lot of excavators, a lot of people and enforcements forcing people to move out of Lubiji. It really trended a lot. And again, recently we had the current minister of environment enforcing it and saying, if you know you are residing in a wetland, in a wetland, I'm going to come for you and make sure that you move out. But we again remind our people, if there are laws that these people are supposed to follow, how does someone reach a point of constructing a house from the grassroots down to finishing it, to sleep in there for days, for months, for years, and then no one is touching them, and then at the end of the day they come out at the last moment and they tell you, you know what, you're not supposed to be here. At the end of the day, we've had people complaining that this land is sold to them. Then if we also have a process where someone has the right of selling someone land, in a wetland. Someone buys it and goes through all that process, like I said, constructing and living there. Where are our laws? Where is our government doing the sensitization, telling people that don't do this and that? Why aren't the laws of environment, particularly here we are concentrating on environment, why aren't those laws brought out to the people so that they know, if I do A, this will be the repercussion? So we've heard of people complaining, why do I do this? Why is it being done here and no one is touched? So that brings us to another point. If laws are put on some people and the other people there are uplifted, that is also going to be a very big challenge to us. People have complained. TV1 recently went to do research down on ground, and people would say, why would you spoil my house and leave the other one? Why would you do this to me and leave the other one? Is it because he's a son or daughter to someone? Or is it because he's a big person? So we go back to our laws. Why aren't our laws being looked at? Why aren't our laws reaching down on the people and they know that I'm not supposed to do A, B, and C? And again, we have to remind our people. I know their laws, but we also have to know that we are not supposed to do certain things. We shall right away go for a short break, and when we come back, we shall go again on the waste management, like we have told you, and give you more details and information on how you're supposed to love, care, protect, and be there for your lovely environment. woba oyina kasasiro oyo segregate it from where you are. Lwaki oba okwate ebintu byomanyi nga bigenda kuvunda n'obimixinga ne glass or ne plastics. Naye era kiddayo ku bakulu baffe. So this goes to the top government, the management that controls this, the government. If we look at the KCCA, the local governments, n'abasigadde. Our people, TV1 evuddeyo ekola sensitization. Ku ngeri ki gy'olina okumanaginga West yo. Naye mmwe abalala ki kye mukozeewo? Bwe tubanga tusobola okusensitizinga abantu ne tubalaga, okay, this is how best you can do it. The last Sunday twakuba omulanga ku ba landlords, the landlords and the landladies abatwala amayumba. Kubanga we realized most times they put dustbins or drums. Ne bagamba abantu, okay, musule mno najja kwesanga mwine ekikomera kirimu abantu bataano ne mubawadde drum emu oba dustbin emu. Nenga, how do you expect people to segregate the West? Wotunulira ekifaananyi ekyo producer kyatuteeredde ku screen yaffe. Tulaba tuina organic waste. Want again to thank Green Hope Uganda. Tuina organic waste. Ne tubeera ne plastic and metal. Ne tubeera ne paper and general waste. Wotunulira ebintu ebyo, you'll see nti byanjawulo. Mulimu ebivunda, mulimu ebitavunda, mulimu ate n'empapula. The last Sunday twabagamba ono kasasiro tabeera kasasiro until ng'atuuse nga tokyamwetaaga. Kuba ojja kwesanga empapula ezo mulimu abantu abazitwala ate ne bazikolamu boards and a lot of things. Otunuulira on the plastic and metals ojja kwesanga obucupa, people buy those bottles ne babukolamu some other things, yeah. Ojja kwesanga each and everything ebisinga. If you look at the organic waste, those things is sometimes refurbished, nezifuka manure, nezikola ebintu ebyamaanyi. But that can only be done if we know that this is how we can segregate the trash. If it is not segregated, then it will affect us. So our dear people, we still fight and cry nga tubagamba tumanye engeri gye tulina okusegregatinga from our top people, and we still cry out to you people to help us. We as TV1 tuvuddeyo, but stand with us to sensitizinga abantu bano. The other time we told you nti if this procedure nga wogiraba ku screen yali followed, abantu ba recently chitez, they wouldn't have gone through ekyabatuukako. Yeah, techandi batuseeko. Era recently the secretary yavayo n'agamba all stakeholders baina meeting gye baali munava sensitinga abantu n'abagamba all stakeholders bafuna proposal bagambe solutions for managing waste and division ku community levels before transportation to the landfill. Baveeyo bamanye nti ekintu kitandikira wansi wano nga tekinnagenda waggulu. Wetukola each and everything, era buli muntu avaayo ne tumanya nti we are starting this thing from scratch, going to our little ones, our young ones, the future of tomorrow, our environment ambassadors in Cha. The thing starts with us. If schools, you can watch me. Tuwabagamba teach your kids bamanye nti okay, eno kachupa kankateeke wano, kino kipapula kankiteeke wano, kino kikuta kya menvu kankiteeke wano. Right away from the schools, the kindergartens, the primary schools, the secondary schools or colleges, the institutions, the universities. Buli muntu top from the management bamanye nti waliwo etteeka ng'abaana abato erigenda waliwo punishment gye bagenda okutuwa ku mwana we bamusanga ng'akutte kasasira avunda n'amuteeka ewali amacupa, oba akutte kino ekirala n'akiteeka w'atalina kiteeka. There will be a punishment. Bwe twali abato edda nga baagala twogera oluzungu baatuleeteranga ekigumba ne bagamba if your phone speaking vernacular you'll wear a board, and it would be a very big embarrassment okulaba nga oyambadde eggumba mu ssomero nga you're walking around. So we'd make sure all of us to speak English. That made a lot of kids to avoid speaking vernacular because they never wanted to wear the board. So this goes back to us, the schools and institutions. If we can find a way of sensitizing these kids through simple punishments, that if you do A, B, C, D, then we shall punish you like this, then maybe things will be a little bit better. Ngachivudde eri mu bantu. Going back to our parents at home, if our parents bazadde baffe ne mumanya nti okay abaana bange oba abaana baffe, because if you remember lastly when we were with the gentleman here, Mr. Paul of Greenhope, yagamba abamu abaana abato balaba abakasasiro bagamba, Daddy, the kasasiro money is here. You're getting? So they fear are the people who are to pick the trash, yet they themselves, yet we ourselves are the people who make that trash. You're getting that point. But we ourselves are the ones who get this trash from our houses, not minding how the trash is, how the trash looks, and then we throw it wherever it is. And then these people, just because we've not segregated it, they'll do the same because they won't have that time, because they know it is supposed to start with us. They will take it the way it is, dump it where they are supposed to dump it, and then at the end of the day, if it backfires, like I told you, when Mother Earth cries, it punishes, it disciplines all of us. Then cheaters will come ahead, because you all know the truth. You're throwing things the way they are. That means you get bottles mixed with glasses, polythene bags, obuveera, amacupa ga plastic, ebyatuka byonna nga byemixinze. No breather, no breathing space. Bizimbe, and at the end of the day, bikole bomo. And then people will be buried again. My people, I have to remind you, we shall keep suffering with the too much shit that is currently happening in Europe. Yeah, I've showed you in our last environmental updates how people are suffering. People reached a point of making sure that they leave their houses and go to water bodies just to make sure that they get some splashes of water because the heat is too much. But what do you think that is? That is a punishment to us humans who are always destroying and fighting our environment. And then the environment will again choose and say, okay, let me also punish you. Omusana guyinzo kukuba. Currently, by the way, abantu bafabe nansana, I'm sure nebife ebirala bingi. You realize tetubadde namazzi. Bantu bangi currently tebayina mazzi. Yeah? And we thank God that I think now we are behaving, because recently we started getting some rain. Naye kukasana akabaddewo. Just here in Uganda, akasana nga kasobola okukuba nononya gye weekweka. Yeah? But what do you think that is? If you treated our environment very well, akasana kandi tukubye weekati. Those are all repercussions of how we are treating our Mother Earth. Erimu tupanishinga. No laba I think there was in Dubai, if I'm to remember very well, they have the artificial a lack of a better word that I can use, bayina engeri gye bakola enkuba, ne bakola enkuba ne bakola n'ebirala ne bagamba nti etonye. Naye nga mulowooza nga tonnatuuka mu kugamba nti kanneekolera enkuba yange oba kankole kino. If you treat the environment well, nomanya nti nina kusimba miti ngisimbye, nina kusimba bimuli mbisimbye, wantemye omuti wata abazungu kye bayita deforestation. Deforestation kitegeeza otemye omazeewo ofunye embaawo zo ogenze kukola birala. Naye wogamba wantemye omuti ngenda kuzzaawo omulala. Amasomero ne gagamba ffenna nga amasomero we shall make sure compounds zaffe ziri green. Chobola program yaffe twagituuma go green, because we know if we keep all our environments green, then the Mother Earth will be happy with us and we shall have a very good climate all along. Netumanya netugamba nti ffe munnanga abapangisa abali ewaka nenaffe katunoonye engeri gye tuddizaawo environment tusimbe ku miti within bye tusobola. Twabalagako recently on our programs netubagamba osobola okukwata ekidomola mu kifo ky'okisuula n'okisala n'osimbamu ekimuli oba omuti n'okwata ecupa za plastic ezo mwezze mukwata ne musuulanga kasasiro osobola ogisala n'obaako ky'osimba. N'okwata amacupa ago mwabandabaze muguliramu omwenge n'ogamba nkutte eccupa eno naye ngikoze ntya ne banga eri kya mugaso n'obaako ky'ogisimbamu. obuveera mulabye I'm sorry mbasigenda balago footage this time n'obuveera osobola obukwata n'obaako kyosimbamu buli kasasiro buli actually kintu nga tekinnafuuka kasasiro njagala mbajjukize tikibeera kya mugaso newe okikwata gwe n'olaba nti tekiri kya mugaso n'ogisuula wekifuuka kasasiro naye engeri gy'okisuddemu naye ematarenga because at the end of the day my people nsobola obbajjukiza obuveera obwo bulina abaddamu ne babugula ne babaako ebyenjawulo bye babukolamu as a chupa za plastic there are a lot of companies outside there tujja babaleetera wano ku TV1 abaliredo zigula ne bazikolamu ebintu ebyamagezi ne bazizaayo mu byuma yar ne bazikolamu ebintu ebiri better and research says it's actually cheaper than okola empya Wotunuulira mu nsi ez'ebulaaya ezo oba ezensi eziri more developed ojja kwesanga nga balina ne systems balina zi machines last time nakyogerako weya nga bakugamba tulina kino kimashini w'osuulamu eccupa ejja kuwaayo maybe $1 w'osuula kino ojja funa kino so abaana ne bakula nga bakimanyi kino ekintu kankitwala eri nfune ssente naye nga sensitization entuufu erina kubeera what is the right thing that I'm supposed to do. Where am I supposed to dump the waste and how am I supposed to do it? Those are very, very important things. Very, very important. Because every single day woba osobola ozuuka n'ogamba mpasa amatooke gange maze okugawaata ngenda galya. Recently we mba nsobola obbajjukizaako wetwali mu COVID-19 year where a lot of people lost their lives. May their souls rest in peace. Twalaba abantu enjala yabaluma. They reached a point nga balya n'ebikuta by'amatooke. If some of you never saw that. Nga abantu balya ebikuta by'amatooke. Nenga mulowooza ebikuta by'amatooke si kasasiro. Wetumuyita nti kasasiro. Nojja kwesanga mulimu abakola ki? Mulimu ababirya. So kyekiri kyenkujjukiza. Every single thing before it becomes trash, before you call it kasasiro, it is something. And if you are sharp enough, there is a time I said common sense is not common in common people. It is not like that. If everything we touch as we humans, you first think before doing anything, then we would have a better country, would have a better nation, would have a better world, would have a world that doesn't whip, a world that doesn't punish us. Because the environment has always made sure that it fights to give us the things that we want. But what do we do in return? This is where I will take a plea and call out our lovely agencies, that is all the governments. Twina nema, twina ebitongole ebyamaanyi, making sure nti birwana biyambe environment yaffe, biyambe Mother Earth okubanga esigalanga bweri. Naye sensitization ekyali low, my people. Sensitization ekyali wansi. Kyovola bojja kwesanga ng'ebitongole ebirwanirira ensi bye bitamanyiddwa ate ebitongole bino ebirala ebya entertainment, ebya firimu, ebya bikinga ate byo bimanyiddwa nnyo. You're getting my point. So I still give out a very, very sad but loud plea to our government agencies. Please come out. Sensitize, fight, make sure that people get to know the information. If the laws are out there, make sure that people get to know them, but make sure until still those laws biteereddwa mu nkola. Amateeka tuleme galeka mu bitabo. Leka amateeka gaveeyo, omuntu amanye nti akoze kino era etteeka likoleddwa. Then people will know nti munnange kino wenkikola bajja kumpanishinga. Ate mwatu omanya abantu abamu webamanya nti wenkola kino teri agenda kunkwatako bajja kikozesa nkiyite, they'll do it when some people actually have big heads. Bajja kikozesa kajanja agamba teri ajja kunkwatako kamale gakikola. So why not bring out our laws to make sure that they punish? I want to give my thanks and my very big bravo to the motocross and the motorsport fraternity for always loving and protecting the environment, and remained the fans that always go to very many different events and all those events that are always organized. Always leave the environment the way you find it. Waba ogenze mu kisaawe osanze kitukula lwaki gw'osuulasula kasasiro n'omulekanga waali. Wobanga tosobola kwata kasasiro n'omusula mu njuyo, why would you throw it outside? Wobanga at your home you have a bin, you have a trash where you put, gwoyita kasasiro munanga atoye tumuyita. Why wotuke bweru atogambe kansule busozi? So my people, I want us to always use our heads more than just the actions nga tukola bukozi. Let us always think about certain things nga tetunabikola. Then I think personally our environment would be better. I want again to thank all the media people outside there, the calls for the UN, the calls for all people that are fighting to make sure that they bring out the environment, the Mother Earth, protective sensitization information to the world, that people get to know that this is what I'm supposed to do, this is the right thing. But I still get to know that if I do B and it is wrong and this is what is going to happen to me, that is a very good thing. And I pray and plea again that let us do it more. Let us make it more visible than all these other things that are made more visible. Let us also make sure that Mother Earth's plea is given out as strongly as hard, like all the other activities are given out. If you normally hear, if we have a show here that we're doing, everyone will know about it. But we have a campaign to clean Kampala Central. Very few people will get to know about it. So let us fight and make sure that we give visibility to the Mother Earth activities and campaigns, the more like how we give visibility to these other things. And I have again to remind you that every single Sunday we always be here as TV1, and we request that all these other media fraternities, all the government agencies come and we work together. This is a cry that doesn't only help TV1, but it helps each individual. It helps each country. It helps each continent. It helps the whole world. This is something that is not going to stop today. It is something that is everywhere, that it will live with us right now, and even after us it will be living. So why not cry out and make sure that every single person gets to know about it? Why not cry out to make sure that the little stars, the patrons of tomorrow, get to know about it? Because nga wembagambi wetumanya abana bafa abato bamanya omulanga guno ne bagufulumya mu nsi ne bamanya nti okay, nkuze nkimanyi kino kye kituufu kye nnina okukola, nkuze nkimanyi nga wenjagala nnyirire buli lunaku n'environment yange erina okunyirira, nkuze mmanyi nti nsobola okukwata ekidomola n'ensimbamu ekimuli oba omuti negukula nengufukirira buli lunaku oba buli nga wayiseewo ennaku 3 negukula neguyamba. If we can do this to all our mizigo gyaffe gyonna negimanya nti mnange tusimbyeko ku butiititi, then our environment would be better, our world would be better, and the punishments won't be there. The Europeans are now facing it rough. Ugandans, I know mukaliko saawa zino mukawulira akasana era abatalina mazzi mumanyi how it feels to be without water. I don't want you to forget that not having water is a repercussion of you treating the environment very bad. So you people can also suffer, and nonange sigenda ba amazzi gange namwe kamukalabe kuba namwe temwagala kukola ki kumpisa bulungi, then nemusufferinga. And at the end of the day, when we're treating our environment and you get rain and land is filled with water, and then trust me, there won't be those bad consequences. And again, I have to remind our people that we are here every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. We shall be here to sensitize you. We shall be here to teach you. We shall be here to show you how you can love and protect your environment. And again, I have to thank all the people that are making sure they tune in to watch us. Era mbajjukize, love and protect your environment. Buli wonna woli osobola okikolerawo. Teweetaaga nti omuntu alina kugamba okole kino na kino. No. Start as you. There is a quote that was currently happening or going on where my friend Paul told me, nti, handle your waste with care. Your waste is your responsibility, and my waste is my responsibility. Kasasiro wange buba buvunanyizibwa bwange, era nawe kasasiro wo buba buvunanyizibwa bwo. Why is, if anything happens right now, we shall all get affected. Nefe nawe tukolera awamu ne tugamba buno buvunanyizibwa bwange okubanga ekintu nkikwasaganya bulungi, n'oli naakola kyekimu n'oli, and then the world would be a better place. And then we say your waste is your responsibility, like I told you. But if we work together and we make sure we keep our communities clean, we keep our schools, we keep our roads, we keep our houses, our compounds clean, and then also that will give us a better health, and everything will bring to our sustainability. And we as TV1 will make sure that we'll be here to show you, to teach you, and to sensitize you. But also you, our people, don't wait for TV1 to come on your doorsteps. But you can still call us if you have a community that needs to be sensitized. If you have a school that needs to learn more better ways on how they can segregate and handle their trash. If you have, I've seen hospitals recently, I was going to forget this. You know, hospitals are places where we go, you know, nga tuli bubi, nga tuli barade, nga twagala funa bujanjabi, and etc. Niyo jakwesanga, if I go to a hospital, nga edwaliro nga ddyo, they have poor waste management. Wano wempitira amateeka, nengamba, why not us and our government? Why can't we fight and make sure the laws that we have ziteereddwa mu nkola, so that if I go in a hospital and I find they have poor waste management, then there are repercussions. If I go to a school and I find they have poor waste management, there are repercussions. So my people, this starts with me, and it starts with you, and it is my responsibility, and it is also your responsibility. Let us always fight to make sure that we protect, love and care for our environment. Era njagala mbajjukize nti abantu baffe ab'ennansi n'akabumbi, buli lw'oba ng'oyagala akambala akalungi, onyirire bakyala bannange oba oyagala genda mu church party office, boutique eryemba gita Linda's boutique egenda okwambaza era onyumirwe. Njagala n'okutumirako buli kinoomu amaking sure nti atuninze in on TV1 to watch this amazing Go Green program that calls for our lovely environmentalists. My people, I love you so much. Thank you for loving our environment, and thank you for loving our Mother Earth and protecting it. As I leave this program, I want to again tell you that every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. we shall be here as TV1 Go Green to show you, to sensitize you, and to make sure you know the best way you can love and protect your lovely environment. Good evening.